Karen writes in about her own life, and she says she signed a permission slip many years ago to her husband to have a vasectomy, and she feels bad about that. With that said, she said, can you give me a scripture that would affirm or approve of Christian marriage's Planned Parenthood being life prevention, the pill or any kind of other procedure? Okay, here's what I would say, Karen. There are no verses I can point to other than the fact that there are plenty of Christians in the Bible that are single, and it's hailed as a good thing. Jesus himself encourages singleness. And the reason I start with singleness is because here are men and women who have all of the component parts to reproduce, and they don't. Now, they do that, Jesus says, for the sake of the kingdom. And if they say, I'm going to forego some of what God designed me to do, at least biologically, and that is reproduction, I'm going to forego all that for the sake of the priorities of the kingdom. Kingdom priorities are going to overshadow the effect that I would have as having a family, being a father or being a mother and reproducing. So I do know that the natural intention of certain things in nature, like our own bodies, do not necessitate that they be used for that. And there are times with the right reason that we forego that. So Karen, here's what I would say. There is, even in marriage, you could have a couple that says, because of what we're doing in ministry, because of the priorities for the Lord, we're going to limit how many children we have. And as long as that's preconception, where we don't have sperm and egg coming together, that's the point, I would say, is the point of no return. At that point, we want to do all we can to protect and nourish life. But if you do anything that's going to, as you put it here, how did you say it? Planning parenthood. If you want to plan, and I hate to use that phrase because we know that you think of Planned Parenthood, which of course they are the producing engine of abortion throughout our country, funded by our government. But that's a nasty thought in our minds. But here, let me say this. In you planning to have, say you have kids, they get married and they say, we're going to wait to have kids for a year. Well, of course, they're not going to wait to have relations for a year. So they invoke some sort of parental planning, right? And whatever that is, as long as we are preventing the conception of the egg and the sperm, well, then great. I think that falls in line with the whole logic of Scripture